Another nice one on Deep Creek lures. Welcome to this edition of NC Angling. I'm your host Donald Dudley, and in today's episode we're going to do some fishing using the kayak out of the local pond, and we're going to be using solely Deep Creek lures sink and catch. Different color setups for these lures. And now this was the first time I've ever used these Deep Creek lures sink and catch, and I was very impressed with them. They're a great alternative to some of the other soft stick baits like Gary Yamamoto's Senkos or Yum Dingers or other soft stick baits like that. They caught a lot of fish and they had a lot of great action in the water. Now when I was recording today's episode, it was quite windy here in North Carolina, and hopefully that doesn't distract any from the fishing or any of the things we discussed during the video. But there was a lot of great action and a lot of fish caught. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Deep Creek lures sink and catch, working pretty good today. He bit it as I was reeling in. Probably not even hooked very good. Is that good enough? Cool. Yeah, I'd given up on that cast and was just reeling in, and he bit it on the way in. Got one taking off with it right here. on the rose gold that time. Another nice one on Deep Creek lures. Swallowed that one though. Nice. So let's take a minute and look at how I'm rigging these Deep Creek lure sink and catch, or any Senkos or plastic stick type baits. Again, there's other ways to rig these, but this is what I've been using a lot lately and what seems to be working pretty good. And I'm just wacky rigging these, but instead of using an O-ring, I'm using a miniature zip tie. You can get a pack of them, 4-inch zip ties there for super cheap, and there comes a whole bunch of them, 100 in this pack here, so you can make that last quite a while. So I'm just using this zip tie as my O-ring. I'm just coming somewhere near the middle, putting my zip tie down on that, slightly off center. Zipping that down, then you come in with your pliers pretty close to that connection point there. Snip that off. Of course, make sure you throw this in the trash. Don't leave that laying out there on the water or on the banks where you're fishing. Then you've got an O-ring there. And I take my hook that I'm going to use, and that varies, and I'll show you those in just a second, but that varies. But I'm going to come in just underneath that, pierce a little bit of the plastic, and now I have the O-ring, or the zip tie functioning as the O-ring. So you have a super strong O-ring where you can run a wacky rig. You can vary that if you have it on center, slightly off center. And these baits give you great action when they're going through the water as a wacky rig. So that's all I'm using for my wacky rig setup there. And again, like I said, the hooks, they vary. I mix it up with these Gamakatsu size 1 or size 2 octopus hooks. Also been using some of these owner weedless wacky hooks in size 2. That works real good for helping to keep weeds off of there. And I've even used some of these VMC 2-aught weedless hooks there. So again, you can mix and match that and change it up depending on where you're at, what conditions you're fishing under. But again, that's all I've been using, and it seems to be working pretty good. Well, that does it for this edition of NC Angling. I hope you enjoyed today's episode using these Deep Creek lures, sink and catch, and hopefully you even learned a little something about the non-traditional way that I rig these up using zip ties as my O-ring. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope to see you next time, and until then, tight lines. Now don't forget, if you enjoyed this video and content like it, make sure you click like, subscribe, and leave your comments down below.